ongoing feud. Numerous All-Americans have left pieces of their football souls on this hallowed ground. And passionate followers have made the annual pilgrimage on I-35 and are set for this collision in Dallas. ABC Sports and the College Football Association today present a classic matchup featuring the 17th-ranked Texas Longhorns and the 16th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. From Norman, Oklahoma to Austin, Texas, and all points in between, they've converged to make this the 49th consecutive sellout of the series. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones, along with Tim Brandt in the house, and welcome to the 89th meeting between these two squads. Tim, starting with Texas, they have a real crisis at quarterback.
No question about it. Shea Morenz is hurt. Now, will he play? How much will he play? And how effective can he be? He injured this knee last Saturday, did not practice all week. Folks, he's good enough. He is the difference in this ball game. And personally, I don't believe he will start. Now, the other key for Texas is run defense. They have really struggled in this area. Last week, Rashad Salam ran for an incredible 317 yards. And I can tell you this, Oklahoma is loading up to run. 2 weeks ago, they put the wishbone back in their attack so they could utilize all three running backs. It's a multiple scheme, but Morenz is the key.
And the last starting quarterback to miss a start in this series is our guy down in the sidelines, Dean Rocky Balboa Blevins, playing a little hurt, D.
Yeah, I feel more like Apollo Creed, and that's the way the Texas football team feels. This was actually a friendly fire accident, but much more importantly, word I just got is that Shea Morenz will not start, probably won't play. The last starting quarterback for Texas that did not start, 1966 Dollar Bill Bradley. Texas was upset that year. Otherwise, they had won 12 straight. That means now untested James Brown really gets tested today by Oklahoma. We'll keep you posted from down here.
He has been thrown into the fire cooker, and here's a look at the series record. Texas has won 4 of the last 5. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this. He's the head coach of the University of Texas in his 3rd year at that school, going without the jacket and tie today. And Gary Gibbs is in his 6th year at Oklahoma, the former linebacker at that school, a member of their national championship back in the 70s. We are set for the opening kickoff. Tim, a look at some of the keys.
Well, for Texas, simplify and execute for James Brown, because he's the guy that's starting, and he's only had 11 plays, all handoffs. Defensive success, we talked about stopping the run. Oklahoma, they have to get some offensive balance. They've been passing more than they've been running. They don't want that. And confuse and pressure Brown. That's the obvious. You have a young quarterback, get after him, confuse him.
This is Phil Dawson kicking off for Texas. P.J. Mills at the goal line for the Sooners. Mills dancing and brought down at the 17-yard line. Starting quarterback is Garrick McGee for Oklahoma. Last week he was 11 of 13, threw an interception on his first pass, then an incompletion, then proceeded to make 11 consecutive completions. So he is on a bit of a hot streak right now.
You'll see the full house set, wishbone, backs O'Graham, 3 backs, everything in this new multiple set.
First down and 10 for Oklahoma. Ball at the 17-yard line. The backs are Moore and Allen. And we have flags on the very first play. An emotionally charged atmosphere here today at the Cotton Bowl.
I believe there was movement before the snap.
Dead ball, false start, offense, still first down.
That's just emotion. Big game like this, everybody's charged, not concentrating.
Lloyd Dale, our head referee today, making the call. Oklahoma with a lack of discipline when it comes to penalties sometimes, 8 per game. That can cost you in key situations. They hand it off.
Tyson King with the big hit right off the bat.
Moore lucky to get back over the line of scrimmage that time, picking up maybe 2 yards. A look at the backs and receivers for Oklahoma. Albert Hall set to become one of the top 5 receivers at that school, along with Allen Moore, Alexander, and P.J. Mills. And up front, this is an offensive line that has the potential to be one of the best in Sooner history, but they are inconsistent and underachieving right now. Second down and 14 for Oklahoma. McGee back to pass. Completes it incomplete into the hands of his tight end, Steve Alexander, who flat out dropped it.
That's probably been the most or biggest problem area for Oklahoma this year is the tight end. They've been playing all four, so they decided to start Steven Alexander. He's just a freshman. They call him Alexander the Great, but again, that was not good concentration. He should have made that catch.
You would think they would have to keep that guy, McGee, out of 3rd and long situations. Earlier, the coaches were telling us that they put him in poor situations early in the year and put too much pressure on him. So they're going to try and alleviate some of that pressure today. 3rd down and long. And more flags.
You know, I think this is on the quarterback. I think McGee moved. He was waiting for the snap. It didn't come. He moved.
5 yards, Joe. Still 3rd. Dead ball. False start.
So on its opening series, Oklahoma with 2 penalties already.
Now Texas won the toss and elected to defer. So Oklahoma's going to be punting into the wind. So Texas is going to have great field position. You'll be able to watch McGee, the quarterback, move. He wants the ball now and he's not getting it. That draws the defense off, but it was movement on McGee.
The backs are split this time behind the quarterback, McGee. A draw play to Gerald Moore. Nothing happening. Texas with a big play. Shane Rink making the tackle. Tim Daughtry into punt now for Oklahoma.
Yeah, but the bottom line is because of that series, Texas is going to have great field position. He's kicking into the wind, any kind of return, and they'll be in Oklahoma territory.
He has never punted before, Daughtry has. The regular punter is Scott Blanton. Back for Texas is Jackson. A poor punt, which bounces at the 31-yard line. And it takes a Texas bounce. And Tim, as you mentioned, they will have fantastic field position. A 25-yard punt, nothing on the return. Texas with the wind at its back on this first series. And here comes the quarterback that we talked about earlier. James Brown, number 5.
I feel good.
He's a 6-foot, 185-pound freshman.
He was the top-ranked high school quarterback in Texas. He's only had 11 plays. They've all been handoffs.
Kemp and Walker working out of the eye behind the quarterback. Jackson in motion. Hands it off on first down, a gaping hole. Roderick Walker down to the 16-yard line. And a first down after that 14-yard pickup. The tackle made by Cedric Jones.
Oklahoma does not look ready. They're confused. They're not playing defense. Watch this hole open up. I mean, he just cuts back against an over-aggressive defense that was stemming that way. They were actually slanting away from the play, and they have the big gainer.
And with that first down, a little confidence for the starting quarterback, James Brown. Hands it off again to Walker. This time Walker brought down at the 14-yard line by Cedric Jones one more time. Just underway here at the Cotton Bowl. I'm Mark Jones along with Tim Brandt and Dean Blevins for the 89th edition of the Red River War. There's a look at James Brown from Beaumont, Texas, 185 pounds. There's a perception out there that he is more of an option quarterback, but that is not true. He's a very good thrower. And he can throw the touch passes as well as go deep.
He doesn't appear to be in any hurry to throw his first collegiate pass. See if we get it here.
Out of the offset eye, the backs. Brown to pass. Completes it down to the 10-yard line. That's Juan Kemp, the starting fullback. Kemp, a 5'10", 210-pound senior. Let's meet the backs and receivers for the Texas Longhorns. Priest Holmes, Juan Kemp, Pat Fitzgerald, Lavelle Pinkney is a very rare combination of size and speed, and Eric Jackson, another wideout. Blake Brockemeyer, one of the top left tackles or offensive linemen in the country, period, up front on that Texas offensive line.
Brockemeyer bench presses 445 pounds and squats 600 pounds.
All men. Third down and 4 to go. What a pass by Brown. He gets it off, but he's short of the first down. A little shot put almost, Tim.
He showed a lot of composure. Watch this. He can feel the pressure now. First, he takes the drop. It's a 5-step drop now. He feels the pressure coming from both sides and the middle. So he steps up and just does a little basketball pass, chest pass, and makes the completion. He looks very composed for a young guy.
Drop back there.
I will say this. He took all the snaps in practice this week.
4th down and short. And they're going to go for it. Full house backfield. 3 backs lining up in the I. 2 tight end set. I don't think Roderick Walker made it. The Oklahoma defense getting a huge surge up front.
See if this serves as a wake-up call for the Sooners. This is a great surge, but the big thing is the linebackers filled, and they got the strong safety to come up and make the hit.
And right now we wait for the measurement as they bring in the chain gang. Gibbs, though, has to be concerned about the early lethargy of his team. Didn't make it. Oklahoma takes over. So the first pivotal critical play of the game is made by the Sooner defense. We'll be right back.
Elects to go on 4th and short. Watch how Oklahoma fills. It's a strong safety, 17. Henderson, who comes in over the top and actually stops the play. You see, he was the last hit. But with a young quarterback making his first start, why wouldn't you kick the field goal there? Get some points on the board.
Some interesting decision-making by head coach John Malkovich, which does not pay off.
What they did is waste that great field position.
Oklahoma with the ball on its own 8-yard line. They hand it off out of the wishbone. Number 25, James Allen. This Texas defense going to have to stop that Oklahoma run today. Tony Brackens is the leader up front along with Clark and Thomas Baskin. There have been 8 different starting linebackers this year for Texas. That tells you something about their injury situation at that position. And Bryant Westbrook is a very strong defender against the run and a very good cover guy as well in the secondary. McGee on the option, and he pitches it to Allen, who is out near the first down marker at the 16-yard line. He was finally brought down by Tyson King.
It's a pretty good indication of what Oklahoma has done. They've gone to a more option offense because they were passing the ball too much and too early, and they became somewhat predictable with Garrick McGee. He's thrown almost 100 passes this year, which is unheard of for Oklahoma. So now they start running more and more option, and you can see it's difficult to defend. You've got to have a guy not only on the quarterback, but you have to assign a guy to the pitch man. 100
passes so far this year. Dean Blevins didn't throw that much in practice in his entire career. More in the backfield that time, and they run it. Let's go downstairs to Dean right now. Dean?
Mark, that point was correct. I didn't throw it. Didn't throw that many. And Tim, you bring up a good point. Why do you not kick the field goal? I think the thinking is that this is a Texas club that, even though they've scored 30 points a game, that I think Texas believes that 20 points will win this game, and they were looking for 6 instead of 3. And in retrospect, you can sure second guess it, but I think that's their mentality.
With new quarterback, though, you want to put those points on the board right now. Take some of the pressure off him.
And speaking of the quarterback, Garrick McGee walking away and calling a timeout. With a timeout on the field, the quarterback will talk it over with his coach. We'll be right back. CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet. The cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. The NASDAQ stock market. AT&T, we help put your world within reach. And State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Look at some of the festivities, some of the rides outside here, the Cotton Bowl. They're located on the Texas State Fairgrounds. A lot of interesting things to see. I'm still looking for that 16-inch tall man, Tim.
He's not on this field, I'll tell you.
A lot of big bodies out here on 1st and 10 for the Sooners. McGee on the option. Tries to get to the corner, doesn't get there, and is pushed out of bounds at the 22-yard line. At Wishbone, can mount up yards, Tim.
No, absolutely, and Oklahoma's going to try to run, and this is why. Look what Curtis Martin of Pitt did, 251 yards. We told you Salam had 317. Just 2 runners, not 2 teams, 2 runners, 568 yards. Right now, Texas is playing pretty well. They've held Oklahoma to 6 runs for only 13 yards. We'll see if they can maintain that.
It is 2nd down and 6. Might even this point again. The toss is to Frazier. He's got speed. Jeff Frazier with the first down out to the 36-yard line. Brought down by Trey Thomas and Chris Carter, but he picked up 14 yards. Nice to see Jeff Frazier come back, Tim.
I was going to say, I would like to see what he could do if he didn't have all those injuries. His freshman year, he had shoulder surgery. Last year, he blew out his knee and had surgery, but now he's back. He's just 20 years of age. He's a sophomore. Folks, he once ran for 535 yards in 4 high school playoff games. He's a great talent. He's just been injury-plagued.
Pretty good speed. Had 10 rushes for a total of 72 yards last week against Iowa State. The inside handoff for Gerald Moore. And Moore is out to the 40-yard line. Picked up about 3 that time for the Sooners. Moore's an interesting mix. He's 5'10", 230, and runs a 4.5 40.
See Nebraska out of the blocks quickly today, as is Colorado. It's going to be a pretty good showdown between those two.
I wouldn't want to be Bill McCartney's doctor, though. I mean, he gets a lot of heart palpitations with those finishes.
I mean, Boston College just spanked Notre Dame today. Congratulations to Dan Henning.
McGee on the option, keeps it himself this time. And wiggles and weaves his way out near midfield, brought down at the 49 by Chris Carter.
You know why that play was successful? Because Norman Watkins, the linebacker, got cut off, and he could not get to the quarterback, which was his responsibility, McGee.
Interesting here at the Cotton Bowl, Tim, that you always hear cheering on a play because the fans are split right down the middle. Oklahoma fans to the south and Texas fans to the north end of the stadium.
7 plays this drive. Oklahoma's all been on the ground.
On the toss, this is Frazier. And Frazier is brought down at the 47-yard line. Tackled by Tony Brackens and Thomas Baskin.
In all fairness to the Texas Longhorns, they've had 6 out of their 8 linebackers get injured this year. It's been a nightmare. Consequently, they've had containment problems and over pursuit, confusion on defense at times.
Gary Darnell was saying that he calls his linebackers his Ford group. Fix or repair daily. It's been that year for them. Been that type of year. On 2nd down, the option again. McGee keeps it. And he's out to the 39, and he has a first down. Monday night, it's a key NFL matchup as 2 of the top teams in the NFC battle for the division leads. Warren Moon and the Minnesota Vikings head east to take on Dan Reeves and the New York Giants. Monday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC Sports.
After a shaky start, Oklahoma's got a very methodical drive going here. They haven't used the triple option too much this year, but you can see it's very difficult because it causes the defense to go to assignment defense. Somebody takes the dive, somebody takes the quarterback, somebody takes the pitch.
Gerald Moore on the 10th play of this Oklahoma drive gets the carry, and he was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's a big play for Texas because now it sets up 2nd and long. Oklahoma has yet to pass in this drive.
And they have yet to score this year, Tim, in the first quarter. That's an amazing statistic.
Yeah, but look what happens. They get the wake-up call in the second quarter. They just go crazy. 65 points, outscoring the opponent 65-6. They've been outscored in every quarter, though, but that second one.
It is 2nd down and 10. Fumble. Texas has the ball. On a bad pitch intended for Moore, Chris Akins recovers it for Texas.
Watch the pitch. They were trying to come back against the pursuit. Watch. Play's coming back the other way. It should have been caught. Looked like the pitch was right there, and Allen had his hands on it, but he bobbled it. Bounced right off of him. You know, they had 10 fumbles all last year. They have 8 already in 4 games. penalties, turnovers, killing Oklahoma.
And here comes James Brown on his second series for Texas. And once again, beginning with good field position. And hands it off on first down. That's number 33, Priest Holmes, who last week was hurt against Colorado. Suffered a hip pointer early in the game. And I know that Bevo is concerned about it. He's got his own turf down there. I like that.
Bevo's got the life. Just stand around, watch football, and eat.
He's on scholarship.
He's half on, half off.
Nose of the ball on the 43-yard line. Kemp and Holmes lining up out of the offset eye. 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Zeros on the scoreboard. Brown on the screen to Holmes. Looking for the kickout block. And Holmes is up near midfield at the 50-yard line. He's about 2.5 yards shy of the first down. Defensively for Oklahoma, it's a unit that is still improving. Up front, Cedric Jones is the leader. He's 6'4", 288. He's a junior. And Mario Freeman is strong against the run, especially, and good against the pass as well. In the secondary, Darius Johnson is a speedster and a very good cover guy. Third down and 2 for Texas. Jackson in motion. And flags down on the play.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. Still third down.
You know, that's the third false start we've had in this ball game. 2 to Oklahoma, 1 now to Texas.
Both teams guilty of a little sloppy play.
James Brown, 3 for 3, 13 yards. Has to make that guy right there, John Mack, feel pretty good. Very casual today with no coat and tie. He's gotten away from that tie.
I think it's a superstitious thing with him now. So with the ball pushed back, it's third down and 7 now. Walker and Kemp in the backfield. We have yet to hear from Lavelle Pinkney. Brown up top, picked off. Larry Bush intercepts it for Oklahoma. That ball poorly underthrown, Tim.
It sure was. You know, as soon as we say he's 3 for 3 for 13 yards, we jinx him. Bad throw. Watch now, if you can just watch his helmet. He's looking to the right, looking to the right, looking to the right. Did look off to the left there for a second, but now throws underneath coverage. They're in a zone. They've got the safety coming from behind, and he got underneath coverage. And watch this, he just poorly underthrows Jackson, 39. And there he is. Bush, pick, highest point, turnover, Oklahoma.
Sooners with the ball on the 34-yard line. Still no score with 4:41 remaining in the first quarter. Terrence Brown in at quarterback now for the Sooners. Downstairs to Dean. Dean, what's going on?
Well, guys, as you know, Terrence Brown has been getting more snaps the past couple of weeks for Oklahoma. They plan to get him in, as they're doing, on the third series of the first half, the third series of the second half, and maybe more. And the thinking is Garrett Brown tires late in ball games, and that's when a lot of his turnovers come. Terrence Brown is not a good passer, but has tremendous speed and is a good option player.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest key. Forget fatigue being a factor in a big ball game like this. Brown is the best running quarterback. He also plays flanker. And he's going to run that option time and time again to put pressure on the corners of that Texas defense.
Here we go. Brown, a dangerous pitch. Fielded nicely by Allen like a third baseman, but he pays the price for it. Brought down by Bryant Westbrook. Diesel. A sloppy-looking pitch that time by Terrence Brown. Might have been a little nervous.
Yeah, Brown, we said, was a flanker, and they moved him to quarterback when Michael Thompson got injured. Played against Colorado last year when Cale Gundy was knocked out. He does have quick feet, but this is a bad decision. He's on his way down and just throws a poor pitch. I tell you, James Allen had no shot.
And he took one at the end of that. Third down and long for the Sooners. The flanker screen to Mills, cutting back. Losing ground, looking for a block. Gets one. He ran about 30 yards, but gained about 2. Brought down shy of the first down, and the Sooners will have to punt. Tyson King making the tackle.
Actually did a nice job, almost like a punt return. He waited for his wall to form. Watch, nothing here. Whoops. Go back this way. Pick up some blockers. 1. Here's another one. 2. Here's another one. They make that block right there. He's got a shot to get the first. Good pursuit by the Texas defense. Never give up on a play, and make sure you have good pursuit angles and know where the first down markers are.
Tim Daughtry into punt, his second one of the game for Oklahoma. This one much better than his first one. A high punt driving Curtis Jackson back to the 10. And Jackson is brought down at the 15-yard line. So a nice punt by Daughtry of 43 yards. We'll be right back. You know, it's been a rough year for Texas with respect to injuries, Tim. Not only the players, but the coaches, too. This is last week, Colorado against Texas. And look what happens to John Mackovic, the head coach, on this play. Keep an eye on 98, Tony Brackens, who will run right into him there.
I'm telling you something. John Mackovic, he took the hit of the day. Watch his head snap. Boom! Cut his chin wide open, had to have sutures. They got him looking pretty today, though. A little makeup, you know. So just get that off of there.
Oh, yes.
Got the sutures out, Band-Aids off.
Looks clean.
Little color. Good cut man. That cut man ought to work on Dean Blevins.
Get that eye worked up. Kemp and Walker in the backfield out of the offset eye. There's Roderick Walker. Nice run over the left side as we toss it back to John Saunders in New York.
Mark, Auburn at Mississippi State already with a 7-0 lead when Patrick Nix goes back to pass. It finds Frank Sanders. 19 yards on the touchdown. 14-0 for the Auburn Tigers. Mark.
Auburn still undefeated under Terry Bowden. What a program. What a team.
I was down in Montgomery, Alabama Wednesday night for the Blue-Gray Hall of Fame dinner, and they are really high on Terry Bowden and also with Auburn.
And they should be. 2nd down and 6 now for Texas.
That's a reverse.
And a reverse, Curtis Jackson. He's got blockers out there, too. Action Jackson down over the 50 into Oklahoma territory. A 34-yard pickup. The tackle made by Anthony Fogle of Oklahoma.
Everything starts to go to the right side. And you can see the defense now already starting to shift, move it, and here we go. Everybody's out of position already. All you got to do is bring it around. You stop it right there, and look, there is nobody there to contain. Now he's got blockers in front of him. He almost broke it all the way. Great play by Texas, knowing that Oklahoma's overcommitting on their pursuit.
That 34-yard run, Tim, the longest of the season for Texas. Jackson in motion, the pitch. Walker Down to the 42. So Texas now getting a bit of offensive movement going. Larry Bush making the tackle for Oklahoma. Roderick Walker, a 6-foot, 200-pound senior, came to Texas out of high school, highly regarded, but suffered an injury in his senior year in high school, and then another one in his freshman year at Texas, and has been slowed down. But now he feels this is the year that he can realize the potential that he has. And off to Walker. About a yard shy of the first down at the 38-yard line, brought down by Cedric Jones. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll be selecting a genuine Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. And for the 24th year, the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. So on a sunny afternoon here in Dallas, Texas, on the Texas State Fairgrounds, the first 15 minutes of play end with 2 zeros on the scoreboard. We'll be right back. Back in Dallas, folks, I got to tell you that my two partners, Dean and Tim, tried to sneak on that ride for Children's Fair, but didn't work, did it, Tim?
No, I tell you, take more hits on that than you do on the football field with Oklahoma, Texas. That thing will make you sick. Also, don't carry change in your pockets.
Well, that'll shake it out.
Mark was standing under it with a bucket.
The nose of the ball on the 39-yard line for Texas. 3rd down and 2. A fumble. Holmes gets it back, and he's brought down at the 50. So Texas blows it. A tackle made by Simpson.
What is the deal here? Watch it, zone blocking. Everybody goes to the right, and he just takes his eye off the ball and looks for a hole rather than first securing the ball, pulling it in, tucking it away, and then locating the hole. Just start running in that direction. You know where the 6 hole is. You just go toward it, but keep your eye on the ball.
Twice now, Tim, we've seen backs not be able to get a hand on the handoff and fumble it. Just underway here in the second quarter. Dwayne Bosick into punt. A low line drive punt back to the 10. And the Sooners bring it out to the 12-yard line. A 40-yard punt and 4 on the return by P.J. Mills. Let's go down to Dean.
Guys, we've talked about the walking wounded for Texas. One player that is a really significant injury, standing in the black work outfit here, is Mike Adams, the wide receiver kick returner. He is a tremendous football player. He has a knee injury, out 1 or 2 more weeks, but with he and Marinz out, they are really hurting offensively.
Well, the quarterback situation, and you mentioned Adams, but you know, Pinckney and Adams, that story's been well documented, but UT also lost Justin McLemore and freshman Wayne McGarity with serious knee injuries. That's their quarterback and top 3 receivers from last year.
And it hurts the quarterbacks because they don't have the opportunity to work with any continuity. Oklahoma on the handoff on 1st and 10. James Allen is brought down at the 15-yard line. Colorado still rolling over Missouri.
There's the big upset of the day. You know, this is the 3rd time Oklahoma has started inside the 20-yard line this afternoon. Very bad field position.
Garrett McGee is back at quarterback now. And he looks to pass. A great diving grab by Albert Hall. A 1st down, Oklahoma. 18 yards on the pickup, and you see why the Sooner coaching staff calls him the leader.
Pressure came from Baskins, Clark, and Brackens, number 98. But then watch the pass. He just steps up. He's under pressure, throws it with all arm, and then Albert Hall makes a nice catch. Gain of 18. You know, he averages 15 yards every catch. Excellent speed for Albert Hall, but a nice play by McGee to get it off.
McGee hands it off this time on 1st down. Nice cut. And James Allen is off to the races. That's why they call him Lightning.
biggest play of the day. They call Allen lightning. They call Moore thunder. He got help from thunder. Now watch this. Once he gets inside Westbrook with the block, cuts it back outside. The only thing that can stop him now is the angle that the Texas players are taking. He's got that great speed. Another couple of steps, he would have been past Trey Thomas, number 17.
James
6'1", 207 pounds, and runs a 4.440.
Not bad, following the long line of great Sooner running backs. Sims, Washington. On the option, Allen again. Oh, makes a nice shake. And bulls his way down to the 26.
You know, Mark, the running backs at times have been reminiscent of the Sooner glory years. I mean, James Allen had 740 yards as a freshman. Jeff Frazier, who returns from that knee injury, he is a tremendous talent. And now they're utilizing it in this multiple sets. So you're right, it is reminiscent of the glory years at Oklahoma.
Bad to the bone. Wishbone, it is.
Averaging over 5 yards per carry.
And they line up out of the eye this time. Moore is the fullback, Allen the tailback. Allen again right up the middle. He's brought down to the 23-yard line. Allen coming off a 16-carry, 111-yard performance, 2-touchdown performance last week against Iowa State. Today, 8 rushes for a total of 53 yards.
Yeah, and that offensive line's helping him tremendously. You know, it's a huge offensive line. 309-pound Stamps, Cavill's 310, Langston's 270, Overton's 272, and Conrad's 311. And they all have good feet. They can move.
The offensive linemen, Tim, in college football seem to be getting bigger and bigger. They hand it off. This is Gerald Moore. Touchdown Sooners. Gerald Moore on a long scamper for the touchdown. Scott Glenton in for the extra point. And Oklahoma leads it 7-0 over Texas.
Thunder and lightning. Here comes Moore. You play defense. He breaks the tackles, and Oklahoma's on the board. We'll be back.
Gerald Moore, a.k.a. Thunder, demonstrating some of that thunder, running into the end zone for the touchdown, resulting in the 7-0 lead. Downstairs to Dean Blevins. Dean?
Guys, injury update for Texas. Corby Brooks, the offensive lineman, number 62, has a bruised shoulder, and Bustamante will be back in on this series more than likely. We'll keep you posted.
Okay, this often tends to be a battle of attrition, and even more so this year for Texas.
Great crowd. It's turned out to a great day, and there's no question this guy, Shea Morenz, number 12, he is the difference so far in this game. He is not playing because of that knee injury. Also had an injury as a freshman, redshirted. Guy's making better decisions. Having played in 15 games as a sophomore, he still throws very, very well, but he's not in today.
Pretty good baseball player as well.
Got bats over 300.
The kick through the end zone. Curtis Jackson denied an opportunity to run it back. Scott Glenton showing off some of his thunder in his foot. A sellout crowd here at the Cotton Bowl, over 75,000 strong. Half of it dressed in burnt orange, the other half in crimson and cream.
Turned out to be a great day. Yesterday we had a huge thunderstorm. It was raining this morning, but now the sun's coming out. Think we'll see Morenz today?
You know, if I'm Coach Makovic, I'm thinking save him for conference play. As big a game as this is, you want to look towards winning the Cotton Bowl or getting to the Cotton Bowl. Little play action. Brown to pass. Fires a dart complete at the 35. That was Eric Jackson with a 15-yard pickup and a first down. Back to John Saunders in New York.
Illinois and Ohio State, the Big Ten, and the Illini strike first. Ty Doutherd, 6 yards in this run, spins to the end zone before stretching across. 7-0 the lead. Mark.
All right, John, back here, 7-0, about 11.5 minutes to play in the first half.
Nice looking pass that time from James Brown. Backs lining up out of the offset eye again. Quick three-step drop by Brown. Complete at the 45-yard line to number 86, Matt Davis. Davis making his first reception of the day. Pushed out by Darius Johnson.
Davis is 6'5", 205 pounds. Pinckney's 6'5". If I'm Texas, I want to isolate them on a couple of those cornerbacks because Darius Johnson of Oklahoma is only 5'9", and Larry Bush, the other corner, is 5'10".
Tim, interesting to note on that Big 8 scoreboard, Nebraska rolling right along without their starting quarterback, Tommy Frazier. Little counter play this time. Walker, nice pickup of about 7 yards out to the 46-yard line, brought down by Larry Bush.
We talked about Frazier. He had surgery, as you know, the other day. We wish him only the best, but he's out for the season, I suspect.
Look at the Southwest Conference scoreboard today. Baylor rolling right along. Rice in a close one against Texas Tech. Texas Tech gave Oklahoma a very tough battle a couple weeks ago.
I don't know if you believe in statistics telling tales, but under Gibbs at Oklahoma, they're 28-7 when they score first, and they lead 7-0.
And they are a second quarter team. Second down and short, play action. Brown wide open at the 40-yard line is Pat Fitzgerald, the tight end, and he has the first down for Texas. A good-looking play by the Longhorns. James Brown really sold the fake on the play action.
Boy, did he get great protection that time. He had all day to find his tight end. Fitzgerald, transfer from LA Valley Community College. He's got the best hands for the tight ends, but I mean, look at that protection. Brown just stayed back there and stayed back there. He's now 6 for 7, 45 yards, and that interception.
Nose of the ball on the 40-yard line. Another quick three-step drop to the wide side of the field, complete to Lavelle Pinckney, who makes his first catch of the day. This is a guy, Tim, who was out of football for 9 months because of various off-the-field problems. So he is still kind of catching up right now. He's a little bit heavy, too. The coaches would like to see him come down from 245, get down to about 235. But he's still very fast at that weight.
I was going to say, even with that weight, he's very, very exceptional in his strength and his speed. He dominates smaller defensive backs.
Ball on the 36-yard line. 9:20 to play in the first half. What a hit up front. Salute by Baron Tanner. Juan Kemp had no chance.
He's an imposing pass rusher and run tackler. He was not eligible last year, so this sophomore is just developing, but he is nice. 6'5", 305 pounds out of Athens, Texas.
Saluted his bench like he was just following orders after, too.
Eric Jackson. They look for him on third down. 6 different receivers have caught passes, but on third down, they like to go to Jackson.
He's their money guy. He's in motion to the top of your screen. A quarterback draw. This is a called play. And James Brown, his forward progress will take him to the 33. Roughed up at first by Larry Bush.
You know, you're in a 4-down area here, too. Now, last time on 4th down, they went for it. I thought they should have gone for the field goal. Here, do you pooch it, do you go for a field goal, or do you go for the first?
Well, in comes their punter,
They're going to pooch it. They're going to try to keep Oklahoma backed up.
Phil Dawson, their field goal kicker, has a very strong leg, but the wind is kind of swirling down there, so Makovic choosing instead to go with the punt. Vasek standing on his 49-yard line.
Playing defense, be alert for the fake.
P.J. Mills for Oklahoma standing on his 10. They're going to try and down it. And they do. It'll be marked at the 7-yard line. So Oklahoma once again starting with poor field possession
when we come back. It's 7-0.
We talked about Oklahoma going to the wishbone for this game and trying to get all their runners involved. Look what all these guys have done. I mean, even Jeff Frazier has 18 yards rushing.
A fumble. Again, the Sooners put it on the ground, and Garrett McGee lucky enough to get it back. And Oklahoma still with possession. A little mix-up on the snap. Next week on ABC's college football menu, a double dip for you. The 12 o'clock games, Nebraska, Kansas State, Ohio State, Michigan State, Auburn against Florida. That's the first half. And then the second half of your doubleheader features Penn State against Michigan at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific time. Oklahoma running the ball on the ground. James Allen that time, right near the first down marker. He's brought down by Watler. Downstairs to Dean Blevins. Dean?
Guys, part of the problem on the bobbled exchange is that Oklahoma is playing two centers. Chuck Langston is the starter, but on the last touchdown drive, redshirt freshman Bruce McClure, number 73, went in. He's back in now, and sometimes the continuity problem is why you bobble a snap.
That's a good point, Dean.
I tell you, Texas is having a devil of a time defending the option.
3rd and 1, Mills in motion. They hand it off to Allen, who goes over the top for the first down out to the 22-yard line. A good-looking leap that time by Lightning.
Talking about Bruce McClure, the center who came in, and Dean was just talking about. He got a nice block, a cutoff block on that play, 73.
And now Mills comes out of the game, and in comes Jeff Frazier. Garrett McGee, the starting quarterback, leading his team to a 7-0 advantage right now over Texas with 6:10 to play in the first half. He goes back to pass, looking up top. He tried to find Albert Hall, but there were 4 white shirts in the neighborhood, and Brian Westbrook provided the coverage for Texas. Shea Morenz, meanwhile, warming up at the sidelines.
I think we're going to see Shea today. I disagree with you. I think he's going to be in the ball game. I know he wants to play. It's up to the medical staff. Now, the way I understand it, there are no tears in his knee. It's a knee sprain. And I don't even think the burster sac was broken. So I think if he comes in, the question the medical staff has to say is, can he injure it further, or will there be no more? If they can't injure it further, then let him play.
Right now, it's the other quarterback with the ball, Tim McGee, who runs it out to the 30-yard line, near the first down, brought down by Westbrook again. Garrett McGee came into this ball game with a very hot hand, having completed 11 consecutive passes in the last game against Iowa State. John Makovic, who last week turned 51 years old. Dean, what do you have to say?
Hey, Timmy, you know, you're talking about Morenz. I don't disagree with you that he would love to go in. He's got a grade 2 medial collateral sprain, not necessarily a tear, but boy, in pregame warm-ups, he really was unable to get any zip on it at all. And I don't know how effective he would be even if he played.
He's got that strong arm. If he comes in, I'll guarantee you they'll go to a shotgun to protect him, and he won't have to drop.
Meanwhile, Gerald Moore for Oklahoma runs it out to the 38-yard line, where he's tackled by Trey Thomas and Tyson King, and it's a first down for the Sooners.
Oklahoma utilizing the clock, time of possession. I mean, their average starting field position's been at their own 16. They've had long drives. The touchdown drive was a long one, but they continue to eat the clock and keep that Texas offense off the field.
Five minutes to play now in the first half. Handoff is to Allen.
And it's going to be a personal foul against Oklahoma. It's going to be on the freshman, Steven Alexander, who let his emotions get carried away. Number 80.
He's the talented freshman tight end that we talked about earlier. 6'5", 230. There's the call from our official.
I want you to watch the top right hand of your screen. 80, the tight end, is locked up right there. See him? All right, now watch. The play continues. Let it roll. There's the whistle. Now watch. Boom. Comes in with a late hit. Throw the flag. The official's right there. That's a freshman mistake. Number one, you have to know where the officials are, and you don't do it in front of them.
Personal foul, offense. It will be second down. Second down.
Well,
emotion gets in the way of concentration.
And coaches will tell you sometimes that the best thing about freshmen is that they turn into sophomores. Over 75,000 people watching this one today. Second down and 24. On the option, McGee, a late toss to Moore, who lowers his hat and is brought down at the 27-yard line by two Texas tacklers. Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, John Saunders with scores and highlights from all of today's action. And as you saw earlier today on ABC, Boston College upsetting Notre Dame. Second consecutive time.
Mark, earlier we talked about the Oklahoma two quarterbacks, Garrett McGee and Terrence Brown. Brown being the best running quarterback. He certainly runs the option better than McGee. You saw in that last play, McGee let the pressure man get too close to him before he pitched. He's got to give that ball to him right now and let him start looking for the corner.
This time he tries to set up the screen pass, and it's batted down by number 90, Thomas Baskin, who's pumped up. And the Texas fans dressed in burnt orange and white voice their approval. Oklahoma will punt. Daughtry with his third punt of the day. Scott Blanton had been the regular punter, but he came in averaging only 37.5 yards per punt. He was in a bit of a slump. So Gary Gibbs making the switch today. This is Curtis Jackson with a chance to return a punt. Jackson gang tackled at the 32. A 46-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. We'll be back to the Red River War after this. Bush, the injured Oklahoma player, being helped off the field. It's 7-0. Sooners leading the Longhorns with 4:25 remaining in the first half, Tim.
Well, we only had that one touchdown. It was Gerald Moore for Oklahoma. Watch how he did it. He's the hammer guy, 230-pounder. They call him Thunder. Watch, he lets everybody go by him. Little hesitation move and breaks the tackle in the secondary by Carter, 16, and then just runs it in for the touchdown. 23 yards. They only score the ball game. Moore, big old Thunder, rolling in.
Where do they get those guys? 230 pounds that run 4.5 40s.
And nicknamed themselves Thunder and Lightning.
The play action from James Brown. Complete to his fullback in the flat, Juan Kemp. Downstairs to Dean. Dean?
Guys, the injury to Larry Bush is a hyperextended knee. Tim Denton will take his place. Oklahoma's John Anderson is out for the year with a beat-up knee. And on the other side of the ball, Oklahoma has an offensive lineman injured. That player is Ben Cavell. He has a twisted ankle, and he will probably come back and play a little bit. Jason Comer is in his place. You go from 310 to 320. The Sooners have some big beef offensively.
A couple guys staying away from the salad bar. 4:19 to play in the first half.
Just give him the dressing and let him go out back and graze.
Fitzgerald in motion. They come to the short side of the field, Texas does. That's Roderick Walker. Surratt out to the 48.
Walker says he wants a 1,000-yard season. You know, he broke his ankle in high school and was redshirted his first year at Texas. Now as a senior, he's run for 300 yards. It's been a very frustrating career for him.
We talked about the long line of talented Oklahoma running backs. Of course, Texas with an equally impressive list of great runners. Guy by the name of Earl Campbell for one. 3:55 to play in the first half. James Brown passing to the tight end, complete right near the first down marker.
Steve Bradley, the tight end, is 6'3". That was a really well-designed play. Everything went to the left, and Brown, the quarterback, comes on a waggle. Watch, everything comes towards you. Boom, here's the fake. Now he goes out by himself, and the only guy over there is Bradley, the tight end. Well, that's nice. Now watch Brown's reaction. Hey, I got the completion. Move the chains. Let's go.
Other than that one pick, he's been very effective passing the ball. He's been pretty solid. And he's back to pass again in the flat. Walker outrunning the linebacker and out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Wendell Davis pushing him out.
Roderick Walker. Call him Sir Rod.
Well, tonight it's a movie the whole family will love. Richard Mole, Jason Weaver, and Boy Meets World's Ryder Strong in the world television premiere of Summertime Switch. Then Tony goes undercover to break up a prostitution ring and finds his friend's daughter. Michael Chiklis stars in an all-new commish tonight right here on ABC. 7-0, Texas trailing Oklahoma, but the Horns with the ball at the 32. Walker over the top, and he has the first down at the 28-yard line. 3:20 left on the clock for the first half.
Outstanding drive by Texas. They've got the Longhorn fans on their feet.
One of the few times today they've been afforded the opportunity of making some noise.
The thing that's been impressive is Texas has been moving the ball around. Look at this, wide receivers. They've got 42 receptions this year. Running backs 21, tight ends 13. So they get everybody involved. Saw Bradley make his first catch on this drive as well.
Lucas in at fullback now. This is Walker. Walker down to the 30-yard line.
Okay, if you're playing defense and you see number 11, Chad Lucas, come in at fullback, you also have to know if you read your game plan and prepared for the game properly. He's a former quarterback. So now that you're down in the 4-down area, watch for maybe a halfback option pass or something like that. At least be alert to it, knowing his history.
Texas does have that dimension in their offensive playbook. A little bit of trickery. They ran a double reverse already once today. 2:25 remaining in the first half. Second down and 11 for Texas. Jackson in motion. They run it. And that is Walker. There's a flag down as Holmes takes it out of bounds. Priest Holmes on the carry.
It's going to be against Brockermeyer for holding. Big number 78.
As stated.
Take a look at Brockermeyer, 78. Now he's working against Jones. Now watch. He'll lock on him there. Here comes the arm. Reaches back. Go ahead and tackle him. Get him down. Throw the flag.
Holding by the offense. Repeat second down.
Brockermeyer, a preseason All-American and an Outland Trophy candidate.
I'll tell you, that is a terrific replay to show you how the officials saw the play. Brockermeyer, he doesn't want to see that replay, though.
It'll set up second down and 20 now. Approaching 2 minutes to play in the first half. Brown complete to Pinckney, who got position on his defender, number 23, Tim Denton, who just entered the game because of the injury.
You know, you can do that all day long. You've got Pinckney, who is 6'5", even better than that, and he's working against defensive backs that give up 5, 6, and 7 inches. Watch this. He's got 5-inch height advantage on this guy. All he has to do is go up over top of Denton and make the catch. I'd give him the alley-oop all day long.
Pinckney now has caught a pass in 16 consecutive games for Texas. Last week, 5 receptions for a total of 72 yards and a touchdown catch. Third and long. Holmes and Kemp in the backfield. Out of the shotgun. Brown off the arms of Jackson. Eric Jackson was open and couldn't squeeze it.
That ball was perfectly thrown. The ball has to be caught by Eric Jackson, and he knows it. That's one that should have been a touchdown. Watch this from the end zone now. You're playing defense. You're in the secondary. I think Brown may have thrown it a little bit quicker than he wanted to because they came on the blitz and he could feel that. Still, he puts it up high and throws a perfect pass. Watch Eric Jackson right on his hands, his fingertips, and he doesn't pull it in.
Yeah, you're right. Brown could not have thrown that pass any better.
He had hit 8 straight passes. He was right there with that one.
Go get it. Go get it.
Texas now punting. Trying to pooch it again. And they do. For the second consecutive time, they get it down deep in Oklahoma territory. A great punt that time by Schultes.
Yeah, see, now there is where statistics are misleading. When you read that in his statistical column, it'll say a 30-yard punt. But this is a great pooch. Watch the end of this. Instead of going into the end zone, he's got it backing up. It's like a golf ball checking up on the green.
And Oklahoma, once again, with poor field position. Schultes, the freshman.
He's got to love that. That's Larry Bush, the 5'10 junior cornerback.
Out of the shadows of their own goalposts, Gerald Moore. Out to the 33 and a first down for Thunder. And he's shaken up. They have landed on the ball. A 31-yard pickup by Gerald Moore.
Boy, watch this. When he pops through this line of scrimmage, see the linebackers are already caught inside. See 47? He was. So then Thunder just takes it and turns it loose. Moore's got good speed, but he gets caught from behind here, and the teammates are going to dog him a little bit. I think he did come down on the ball and knock the wind out of him. He'll be okay. See, that's a pretty good nickname, Thunder. I wouldn't want to be called Lightning, because they say lightning never strikes twice.
Well, if Moore is Thunder and Allen is Lightning, what does that make Frazier? Maybe the Quiet Storm or something like that? 1:25 to go in the first half. Chandler and Allen in the backfield.
Here's the wishbone.
Along with Frazier. McGee keeps it, electing not to pitch, and is brought down to the 34-yard line. You know, one thing about Garrett McGee, the starting quarterback, he is a very quiet, very reserved, kind of shy young man, but the coaches say he's still respected as a strong leader among his teammates.
He comes in with some pretty good credentials, too. All-American at Northeast Oklahoma A&M.
1:09 to play in the first half as Oklahoma leads Texas 7-0. Downstairs to Dean. Dean?
Tough news for Oklahoma. Bush, you saw him walking off a moment ago. He will not return. That knee sprain will be evaluated. Will not return. Denton replaces him. Gerald Moore, though, number 7, will return. Just a breath was knocked out.
All right, Dean. There we get a look at the timeout situation.
You know, we've been talking a great deal about McGee and also Allen and Moore. They call them Thunder and Lightning. We don't want to beat that to death, but those two have gone over 100 yards or combined for 100 yards. 9 straight games now. They have 133 today. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, Oklahoma last week racking up 334 yards on the ground. That was a season high to date against Iowa State. 2nd and 9. McGee into the teeth of the defense. Wow. But it's complete for the first down at the 47-yard line to Jason Harmon. Scratch that. It was Steve Alexander. A 12-yard pickup.
Now watch the concentration, because Robert Reed, number 40 in white, goes for the interception right here. But Alexander still concentrates enough. He's even blinded by Reed. The ball comes in and he holds on. Nicely done. He's just a freshman.
Under a minute to play now in the first half. Ball in the 46. A play fake. Right down the middle again. The same number. Alexander with another first down. And the clock will stop as they move the sticks. A pick up of 14 that time.
Well, you've got to like Steven Alexander. He's only a freshman, but he's 6'5", 230. He's only 18 years old. Remember, they've had some great tight ends at Oklahoma. Keith Jackson, Adrian Cooper, Ricky Brady. They all played here. Alexander could be the next great one. Alexander the Great.
40 seconds to go. McGee to pass. In the flat. Complete. Jeff Frazier bounces off one. Frazier does not want to go down. Stopped up at the 25. A 13-yard pickup and another first down.
And you know who made that play work? Not only Frazier, but again, it was Alexander who got a key block to spring him after the catch.
And the Sooner faithful are voicing their appreciation.
What a great block by Alexander. Makes a couple of catches in a row, then comes over and clears the way for his partner.
Always nice when you see a player come back from a devastating injury, such as the one that Jeff Frazier suffered, one that caused him to miss all of last season. Look at some of the scores from around the country. Don't forget, we have John Saunders with the Prudential Halftime Report coming up. in just a few moments. Gary Gibbs has done a real good job, I think, in turning this Oklahoma team around. And you get the feeling now, Tim, that Oklahoma has really gotten back to where they used to be. Last year, they finished up 9-3. And Gary Gibbs, if you remember, took this program over at a time of tremendous turmoil.
How about this number? Gary Gibbs, as a player at Oklahoma, as an assistant coach and a head coach, has a record of 208, 48-6.
Impressive. Ball at the 26-yard line. 31 seconds to go. That timeout charged to Oklahoma. They have one remaining. Scott Blanton, their place kicker, has a very strong leg, so they're pretty much in range. McGee into the end zone. What a, almost. Man, it was almost a great catch by P.J. Mills. He laid out on that. Couldn't have given it any more effort than he did.
Brian Westbrook, the cornerback on that side, just acting like it was no big deal. Garrett McGee had him open, had to lead him a little bit more inside. McGee's 3 for 4, 40 yards on this drive. He's got all kinds of time, plenty of protection. Now here comes Mills. Watch this. He's got Westbrook beaten. Just put the ball inside there and you got the touchdown. Leads him a little bit too much.
McGee picked up.
Look
he went back to the wrong neighborhood.
It's Westbrook. We just talked about him. Brian Westbrook, you know, he held Colorado's Michael Westbrook to just one catch last week. He's tough to throw against.
And he's telling McGee, how dare you try me again. And McGee is injured down on the field at the 33-yard line. Garrett McGee is down. And he is writhing in pain. The Oklahoma team captain is on the turf.
Take a look and see what happened to McGee. Coming with the blitz. Linebackers are coming. They outnumber him on the top side. Just as he releases it, he gets a helmet in the face. And there's the pick by Westbrook. Double coverage out there. 17 is Thomas, the safety. And Westbrook had deep outside.
Almost.
Looked like he took a helmet to the head just as he released it.
And someone had him low as well. So with that, the Oklahoma scoring threat is thwarted.
Checking his chin, make sure it's still on the hinge.
He's been resilient, and he'll be back.
Rattle the fillings.
17 seconds to play now in the first half. Brown hands it off on first down. Kemp with about 2 yards. Texas unable to score here in the first half of play in the 89th edition of the Red River War. The Sooners, as the fight song goes, they're Sooner born and Sooner bred. And when they die, they are Sooner dead. But right now, they are extremely alive. As Gary Gibbs and his crew go to the locker room with a 7-0 lead. Just a reminder, coming up at halftime, the potential halftime report. John Saunders with plenty of scores and highlights from a very busy Saturday afternoon in college football. As they go into the ramp and down the tunnel to ponder the next 30 minutes. It's 7-0 at halftime. At halftime, moments ago, Dean Blevins spoke with a focused Gary Gibbs.
First off, the condition of your quarterback, Coach.
He's going to be all right. He got hit in the jaw area, but he'll be fine.
Shea Morenz apparently will not return. That seems to be a major factor in this ball game.
Well, Browns played very well. Their offensive football team's really done a nice job moving the football. So far in this first half, it's been field position and turnovers.
What do you tell your club at half?
Protect the football and take advantage of opportunities.
All right, best of luck.
All right, the only touchdown for Oklahoma came on a trap play. Watch 78. This is J.R. Conrad come down and trap here, and then Milt Overton will come back here and clear the way for Gerald Moore. Roll it. Watch, here goes 78. Here comes 74. Watch the block he throws, too, and then Moore slips through. Then he breaks 3 tackles on his way, uses that 230 pounds just to bull his way down into the end. And that's our only touchdown today.
And John Makovic has to get some offense and some scoring out of his unit. And Dean Blevins spoke with him moments ago as well.
Coach, Shea Morenz being out has to be a big factor. Will he play?
I don't know if he'll play, but James Brown has done very well for us. He's only made one mistake. He's handled the ball well. I've been very pleased with his performance.
How do you decide if Morenz will go back in?
Oh, I would just play it by ear, but James right now is doing everything that we need for him to do. Our defense needs to really get in the game the second half and help us out, though.
Best of luck.
Okay.
You know, John Makovic has a penchant for saying the right thing at halftime, like against the Louisville game. Mike Adams was struggling, fumbled a couple of balls, dropped the punt, and he brought Adams up in front of the team at halftime and told Adams that he's part of the team. He's part of the family. He's back. Go out, relax, and have a great game. Well, in the second half, Adams did just that, and Texas went on to defeat Louisville. So Makovic hoping that he can press the right button this time at halftime and squeeze a win against Oklahoma. Jackson 1 yard deep. Out to the 18-yard line. And that's where Texas will start off.
Talked about some of the keys before the game started for Texas. They had to simplify and execute for James Brown in his first collegiate start, and then they needed some defensive success against the run. We amplified how they had struggled. You see that Brown comes out pretty well, 11 of 13, 85 yards, and then he did have the one interception. In Oklahoma, just 29 yards rushing, but 189 total yards. They suffered a little bit against the run.
James Brown comes out to start the second half at quarterback. He saw his numbers and looked poised and performing. Jackson in motion. With play action, it's a waggle. Wide open to his tight end, Bradley. And Bradley has a first down at the 33-yard line. A pickup of 16 yards. And Tim, a look at the first half numbers.
Well, you see they're pretty even play-wise, and yet the time of possession balanced out as well. I thought at one point in the second quarter when we looked at this that it would be dominant by OU on the time of possession, but that balanced out pretty well. But it's been the rushing yards that we talked about just a second ago and the keys to success. Texas has not been able to stop the OU run. 189 yards.
And last week they ran for 334 yards. So they are past that pace. First and 10 at the 34 for the Horns. Texas has won 4 of the last 5 meetings against Oklahoma. They run it on the belly play, and a flag is down at the 35-yard line. That was Priest Holmes, brought down by David Campbell.
That kind of blocking, they didn't need the Priest. They needed the Monsignor or maybe a Bishop. Couldn't get through. There was absolutely nothing open. But they get the break, the face mask.
Lavelle Pinckney getting a breather on the sideline and now coming back into the game.
Bringing a play in. Now he has 2 catches. That's it.
Defense, repeat first down.
He has 2 catches today, Pinckney does. I would think they want to get him more involved. It's a mismatch. Run the 6'5" split end against those 2 cornerbacks. They're only 5'10", 5'9".
Pinckney, a tower of strength and perseverance, emerging out of some very humble beginnings and background back in Washington, D.C. Toss to the short side of the field. Roderick Walker brought down at the 39-yard line. A swarm of Sooner tacklers led by Tyrell Peters.
Boy, Peters played that just like you would write it up on a defensive sketchboard. Just play, slide down, follow the play, slide, play it inside out, then come up and just make the tackle. And he did it with authority.
Tim Peters at 218 pounds has the speed of some defensive backs. And Shea Morenz, you know, they wanted to keep him out of the game last week, but the problem was they couldn't find him because he was hiding from the team doctors once he was hurt.
Hurt that knee. Every time he saw the doctors coming, he'd walk down the other side, get lost in the crowd, and run back out on the field.
His understudy, James Brown, meanwhile, looking to pass. And he bounces one in that is incomplete at the 48-yard line, just a little bit short. Eric Jackson, the intended receiver.
Texas likes that play. They keep going back to it. The reason being James Brown's got good quickness. They're using that athleticism, quick feet to get back out on the waggle, and it's worked several times. And they keep going back to it. Keeps the pressure off of him.
And Texas's future conference rival, Colorado, future Big 12 rival.
Colorado just seems destined this year. Had that last-second win against Texas last week, and of course the Hail Mary pass against Michigan.
They've got it turned into America's team. Third down conversion opportunity for Texas. Out of the shotgun. Brown with wide open real estate. James Brown feels good. A first down at the 46 after a 14-yard pickup.
Again, using the quick feet. They had trips, 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen, but he can feel all the pressure flowing around him, so he just tucks it away. They're having a tough time containing James Brown. He's just a redshirt freshman. Boy, he got tagged at the end of the play. Showing that quickness, utilizing it, maximizing it. First down. Free James Brown.
Hardest working quarterback on the field today. 13-10 remaining in the third quarter. Lucas in the backfield now at fullback. Giving his tailback a nice lead block. Walker runs down to the 38-yard line where he's brought down by Peters once again.
I'll tell you, that scramble by Brown is the first third down conversion for Texas today.
A gain of 3 on first down. Brown, a 185-pound freshman. Backing him up is another freshman, John Dutton. Second down and 7. Walker the tailback, Lucas the fullback. Pickney split wide to the top of your screen. Little play action down the middle. Pickney interfered with.
No question. No question about it. Darius Johnson was all over him. And again, it's because it's a mismatch. Johnson is fighting for his life.
It'll be first down Texas.
I would continue to go back to this. All right, watch it from the secondary's view. Brown drops. Now watch. Here comes Pinkney. Boom, contact before the ball ever gets there. And a flag came immediately. Crowd doesn't like it, but no question. Darius Johnson jumped him. Keep in mind, Johnson's 5'9", Pinkney's 6'5". And he's a wide body. Look at that. I'm telling you.
200.
Gives concerns.
Oklahoma, a team which is much penalized, averaging 8 penalties a game for over 80 yards. Approaching that number right now. Priest Holmes now the tailback. He gets the draw. And he's brought down right at the 29-yard line by Mario Freeman, who is one of their better linebackers against the run. He says, not here, not today.
No, see, and they're bringing those linebackers a lot, too, whether it's a run or a pass. Oklahoma likes to blitz. You know, the rule goes like this. You blitz a poor passer, you cover the field against good ones. But they've got a quarterback, James Brown, who has very little experience, so they're trying to bring the blitz. But they're showing a lot of different looks now. They're starting to mix things up.
Been impressed with his ball handling today. Second down and 11. Holmes 5 carries, minus 8 yards total. Jackson in motion, the pitch to Priest. He's got to the corner. Out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
Mark, do you remember when I said McGee was holding on too late for Oklahoma on the pitch? Watch this. He feels the pressure right away and gives the ball to Priest right away. Now Holmes can get out to the corner. Once he gets him the ball right now, then it's up to the runner. Watch Pickney now. He's trying to come and cut off the corner. Gets a little bit of a block, just enough to free Holmes around the corner.
First and goal for the Horns. Pickney split to the top side of your screen, and here is Walker. Surratt out at the 3-yard line, tackled by Fogel.
Yeah, see, Texas starting to sell out now, starting to put it on the line. We see Priest Holmes in this series. He's playing with a hip injury. Didn't even know if he was going to play today. John Makovic not showing a lot of emotion, but I'll guarantee you his insides are churning.
The last time Texas was this deep in Oklahoma territory, they gambled on 4th and short and came away with no points. Pinckney split to the bottom of your screen, out of your picture, 2nd and goal. Jackson in motion. Holmes didn't get in. Brought down at the 1-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal. Interesting thing about Priest Holmes, last year he went by the name Anthony Holmes. This year he chose to use Priest because there's an incoming freshman by the name of DeAndre Holmes, so it would have been confusing.
Got Holmes and Frazier in the same game.
And Texas looking for the knockout punch right here. Third and goal. They didn't get in. Peters once again strong against the run. And this time the field goal unit comes in.
Oklahoma has allowed only 126 yards rushing a game. They're solid. Look at the pressure. Boom, they're coming from the outside. They've got the cornerback, Denton, 23, slamming it in. Now watch 44, Freeman. Slide, slide, inside out. Gets help. There's Peters, 45. They all get to the ball. 5 guys in on the tackle.
And now in comes Phil Dawson, who's 9 of 10 on the year, along of 50. Chad Lucas will be his holder. This one coming from 19 yards out. He's only missed 1 all year.
Lucas, the holder's a former quarterback. Watch him fake.
Instead, Dawson drills it right down Main Street. And the Longhorns are finally on the board, but you would think they come away just a touch disappointed, although they did cash in 3 points. They had 1st and goal, but couldn't get it in the end zone. Instead, they settle for 3. Look at the largest Ferris wheel in the Western Hemisphere, the Texas Star. Some 250 feet tall. And from there you can get a great view of the Cotton Bowl.
They say 3 million people will visit that state fair.
I had a chance to get on that thing this morning.
I know, you wouldn't pay my way. Scoring drive, 11 plays, 80 yards. See, it took just over 5 minutes. 8 runs, 2 passes, and the field goal.
The Oklahoma defense holding as Texas started with 1st and goal on the 7-yard line. Phil Dawson in to kick it off for Texas. Back deep, P.J. Mills and Jeff Frazier for Oklahoma. Dawson has a strong leg. A lot of his kickoffs go into the end zone. he can really place the ball wherever they want it. This one, he hangs up high to Gerald Moore at the 18. He fumbles it. Luckily, Oklahoma, for their sake, recovers the ball. But again, they put it on the ground. And we go downstairs to Dean Blevins. Dean?
Guys, Oklahoma has 46 Texans on its roster. Texas has 1 Oklahoman. He's this guy, well, we did have a good shot of him, number 54. Can you see him there? He's a center out of Weatherford, Oklahoma. His name is Russell Gascam, an outstanding student, lived in Austin through his junior year in high school, but 46 Texans on Oklahoma's roster.
They will cross the border and get a few players. Moore and Allen in the backfield. McGee to pass, complete to Moore. He has a first down at the 27-yard line. Tim, a look back at some of the important things in this game.
Well, we talked about what Oklahoma had to do to win this thing, offensive balance, and they certainly are doing that. The bad thing they've had is field position. 6 of 7 drives started inside the 20-yard line. Now you can see what they've done here as far as rushing the football. They've been able to do it, and they've done pretty well protecting the quarterback.
9:26 remaining in the third quarter. On the option and a flag down. Well, the 4th time today that we've seen that happen. Try and figure this one out.
John Makovic and the offensive coordinator trying to work some sets, see what's been successful.
Dead ball, illegal procedure, offense, still first down.
Penalties continue to kill Oklahoma. I think what John is concerned with there, Makovic, they were down inside the 10 and couldn't push it in. So he and Gene Dahlquist now sitting there trying to scheme things for the short yardage and power offense.
Sooners with the ball now. 1st and 15. McGee on the option, pitches and loses it. Jeff Allen fields it again, and it's knocked out at the 24-yard line. Allen has had to play shortstop a couple times today.
What a great play by Allen to get this ball. Pressure's coming off the corner. Watch this right here. Boom. Now that's going to force him to pitch before he wants to. Gets rid of it because he knows he's going to get hit. Never locates Allen, just throws it out there where he thinks he's going to be, and Allen does a nice job picking that thing up and getting some yardage back.
He actually got 3. Approaching 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Mills and Hall split to the bottom of your screen. Moore down to the 30-yard line. He'll be about 6 yards short of the first down. 3rd and 6 coming up. Downstairs, back to Dean.
Guys, the Oklahoma offensive coordinator, Watson Brown, is actually calling the audibles for the quarterback. He did it last year for senior Cale Gundy, so it's not really anything unusual for him. But if you'll watch at the line of scrimmage, especially when the safety walks up and it's essentially an 8-man front, Watson Brown will change the play at the line of scrimmage, and Garrett McGee will then change it for the team. He hasn't executed the option very well, but they've had the right play calls.
Yeah, that's something they've done since Watson came to Oklahoma. They did that all last year as well.
Here's McGee to pass now. Tipped and caught by Albert Hall right at the first down marker. This will depend on the spot. Hall, one of the clutch third down receivers for Oklahoma, the clutch one.
Texas was sitting in a zone. They had the linebacker just waiting on Hall and made the stop. Good patience, knowing where that first down marker was and where he had to make the tackle.
So Daughtry comes in to punt as Hall ends up about a yard short of the first down.
Speaking of Watson Brown, his brother Matt got another big win at North Carolina today.
Daughtry gets off a low line drive punt. Fair catch called at the 18-yard line by Curtis Jackson. Might have had an opportunity to return that one. 46-yard punt, and some people just want to chill a little bit. We'll be right back. Cale Gundy, who works very closely with Garrett McGee. Gundy played in this game last year. Starting quarterback.
Great all-conference leader, Cale Gundy.
Pretty good cheerleader, too. Texas with the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 24. 7:42 remaining in the period. Brown hands it off to his tailback, Walker, who's brought down at the 21-yard line by Arthur Atkins, a 6'4", 270-pound junior. And don't forget, Monday Night Football this week, Minnesota takes on the New York Giants. Warren Moon adding a little offense, a new offensive dimension into the Minnesota attack this year.
Going to retire LT's jersey. Lawrence Taylor having his number 56 set aside and retired during that ball game.
Guy who really redefined that position. They run it to the short side of the field with Walker. Walker throwing his body forward out of the 27, 2 yards short of the first down, and down to Dean.
Guys, most people thought there was a real good chance it would be sloppy today, that it would certainly rain. We've had no rain whatsoever. What is a factor is we're going to take a look at the flags up there. The wind, it is, I would guess, around 15, gusting to 20 miles an hour, as if I know exactly. But it is about 15 to 20. And Texas will have the wind at its back in the fourth quarter. That has been huge in the history of this series.
The wind really hadn't affected Brown's performance. He's 12 for 15, 101 yards.
Third down and 2. Jackson in motion. Brown's going to pass. Oh, he's going to keep it himself on the draw. A quarterback draw, and it proves to be a very wise play as Texas picks up the first down. The tackle made by Baron Tanner.
Yeah, and that was a predetermined play. That was a draw from the get-go. They set it up in the shotgun. Looked like a passing down. Again, they used his athleticism and escapability to get through there and pick up the first. Move the chains. Say, he's doing a heck of a job for his first collegiate start. Well, having come into this game, 11 plays, all handoffs.
The coach has told us not to be surprised by his poise because he did have a very good week of practice. He got himself prepared for this game. And it has been entirely his show today. Shea Morenz has not been on the football field.
Good call here. Brown stepped up, took the timeout. He had 2 seconds left on the play clock. So rather than take the penalty, he called the timeout. Very nicely done.
And Brown now talking things over with John Makovic.
You know, Texas was playing for the national title 4 years ago against Miami here in the Cotton Bowl. Went through some tough times, but starting to come back now.
Now looking at Brown going over to talk to Makovic. Thinking of Texas quarterbacks, think of Peter Gardere, who, Tim, interestingly enough, was the only Texas quarterback to win all 4 games against Oklahoma.
Yeah, that string was broken last year, obviously, with Gibbs and Oklahoma winning right here, holding actually Texas just to 3 points in the first half last year, held them to 7 here today.
And we saw Cale Gundy, who played in this game last year for Oklahoma last year. He scored a couple of rushing touchdowns to lead his team to the victory.
You know, it's interesting talking to the Texas people the other night about last week's game against Colorado. They said they kept coming back, and they said the teams the last couple of years wouldn't have done that. They wouldn't have been able to come back like that time and time again, but they have. They think they're just ready now to come over the hump, go back into the big time.
It's first down and 10. After the timeout, here's Brown. Deep drop over the middle, complete to Pinckney. Lavelle Pinckney picks the ball out of traffic in the teeth of his own defense and picks up a first down of 17 yards. Vogel making the hit and the tackle.
Pinckney's 3rd catch of the game. Again, it's the mismatch. He's going to drag this across the Oklahoma zone. Watch this. Boom. Now he gets behind the linebackers. They keep the ball high. Anytime you're throwing to Pinckney, you want the ball to be above the 8-0. You want it to be up around the shoulders, above the head maybe. Use that height, that 6'5" advantage he's got.
6 minutes to play now in the 3rd quarter. Nose of the ball in the 49 of Oklahoma. Waggle, here's Brown. Incomplete at the 40-yard line to his tight end, Pat Fitzgerald. Good coverage that time by Rod Henderson, the strong safety.
Texas fans, they wanted pass interference, but it looked like the timing was perfect. Contact was made on Fitzgerald at the same time of the impact of the ball.
Look at some of the Texas fans who occupy the north half of this bowl.
You know what I like about James Brown? I think the crowd likes it too. He is thrown with authority. I mean, he's a very confident guy, and he exudes that confidence while he's on the field. Players can feel it. Teammates can feel it.
He's 13 of 17 for a total of 118 yards. And that one interception.
Blitz coming from the backside. He gets it away in time and complete. Eric Jackson with a couple of moves and a first down for Texas.
Talk about a well-designed play. It's Pinckney who clears things out. Now here comes Jackson in motion. Now Pinckney will go deep. And now watch, Jackson cuts to the outside underneath of him. You see Pinckney's feet taking everybody deep. Just bring him underneath. Oh, watch what he does with the ball after he makes the catch. Never quits.
Texas moving the ball. 5:20 remaining in the third quarter. Little mix-up, but Brown makes something out of nothing and is brought down at the 30.
Like he's tap dancing on a light bulb. He's got those quick feet. Never get too far off the ground. You know, if you're a defensive guy and you're playing against a guy like Brown, who's very shifty, very, very quick, what you have to do is break down and keep your vision on his numbers. Those numbers will never move. You watch his hips move or his feet, you're going to lose him. Keep an eye on those numbers. They don't move.
Well, if he's anything like that other James Brown, those hips really do shake. Second down and 6 for Texas. Brown pulling out a little early. And they put it on the rug again.
Now the question is, see, they're fighting for a fumble, but there was a flag down. They called movement before the snap. So it's no play. It's a dead ball foul, no fumble. Talk about balance. Texas 136 yards rushing, 133 yards passing. Great balance.
Here's the call.
Well, the ball was dead. False start on the offense. Still second down.
Watch the movement. See, he's pulling out right now. See number 5, Brown? He's pulling out before the snap. He expected on 1. The ball didn't come till 2, so they threw the flag.
They were fortunate to get it back. And Makovic has to be very disappointed with the fact that they've self-destructed a couple of times deep in Oklahoma territory.
Texas has had its opportunities.
Second down and 11. Backs in the offset eye. Goes to the fullback, who's breaking it outside. Juan Kemp with a nice run, and he's brought down by Johnson, but not after a 13-yard pickup. Juan Kemp, the senior, with a big run.
Hook 'em horns. Here come the Longhorns. That's Juan Kemp's only 3rd carry today. Boy, he had some authority. Got outside the flood control, the containment, and put his shoulder down and bowled his way down inside the 25.
Total yardage pretty much even on both sides.
Everybody expected a high-scoring game today.
Isn't that something?
7-3.
Texas scoring 31 last week. Oklahoma 34. And between them, they only have 10 today.
Well, they did it again. See, there's movement on that.
Yeah, stop us if you've seen this before.
Well, the ball was dead. False start, offense. Still first down.
They're killing themselves, killing themselves. John Makovic, no wonder he's got gray hair. I'll tell you, he looks good for 51, doesn't he?
Yes. Even with the stitches under his chin, huh?
It's because he's a wine connoisseur. See, wine's good for you. See, it's good for your heart now.
First and 15. They push it back 5. Sprint draw to the tailback. Walker down to the 24-yard line. Run down by Cedric Jones. Next Saturday on ABC Sports, it's a college football regional doubleheader. First 12 noon, 11 Central. Number 2 Nebraska takes on K-State, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Auburn meets Florida. And then the second half of your doubleheader. National game, Michigan, number 7 against number 4, Penn State. Tim and I will be up in East Lansing.
Second down and long, you're thinking it's a passing situation, so most teams like to run. I'd go to Pinckney. I don't care if they're expecting it or not.
Out of the backfield instead, the fullback. Harris with a nice reception that time, really swung his head around and made the catch.
Kenny Harrison, well-designed play out of a split backfield. They did send Pinckney down to clear things out again, and they just came under in the flats.
Another sellout crowd. Watching another competitive game here.
Big third down play here.
Huge. Out of the shotgun, Brown.
Got him.
Complete. Lucas. And he has the first down at the 9. But Brown has been the picture of poise in that pocket.
You're in the secondary again. Watch number 11, the right hand of your screen. They're just going to sneak him right out underneath the linebackers. There he is. Nobody picks him up coming out of the backfield because they're too concerned with the big wide out. Had 3 receivers wide, then just sent Lucas out underneath.
Now keep in mind what happened last time. Texas was this deep. They self-destructed. Could not get into the end zone.
They can get a first down, though, without getting into the end zone.
Walker looking for a hole. Bouncing it outside. A flag. It'll be a face mask. Walker earned 2 tough yards. And his neck will definitely be sore after that tackle.
This will be half the distance to the goal line. No question, it was a face mask at the end of the play. Anthony Vogel is the free safety, number 9. You see him saying, my bad. Watch this. Watch number 9 come up here now, and Walker right here. Lock on the face mask.
But sometimes, Tim, you just can't help it. It's almost instinctive. You just reach.
You've got to release it right away, and then it becomes incidental. Bottom line is, it's half the distance. Now the ball's inside the 5 at the 4.
And it is first down. Texas still looking for their first touchdown of the day. Vogel now raising his arms, trying to get some noise out of the Oklahoma fans in attendance.
Gary Gibbs looking on. You know he's concerned. He said last year's win got the monkey off of his back. He said, but if I come back next year and lose, that thing's going to jump right back on. It's going to be a gorilla.
Well, the monkey never far away in Oklahoma. Lots of expectations in that program. A counter. Walker. Can't get outside it. You know who made the play? It was Vogel, Tim. Vogel came up and slowed him down, and Peters came in to finish him off.
But a great play by Vogel, too. He made the read and committed himself immediately, almost like a safety blitz. Look, now he's saying, my good, my good. That's right, baby.
Well, if you're going to take credit when you make a bad, take a bow when you do make one. Make it good.
Talk to talk, walk to walk. That's a big-time play by the safety.
Pinckney is split wide to the bottom of your screen on 2nd and goal. A trips left formation. Nowhere to go for Brown, but into the end zone. Brown scores.
15-play, 81-yard drives, using up 7:25 on the clock. And James Brown does a dance on Oklahoma to finish it off. Dawson in for the extra point. And Texas now with a 3-point lead. They lead it 10-7. Another look. It was a touchdown run.
Pass all the way, but all the pressure coming on the right side. There was nobody left. Touchdown, Texas.
Impressive scoring drive by Texas, led by James Brown, the starting quarterback. He has gone the distance for the Horns today.
You know what? He has a great feel for the field. On the touchdown play, it was a pass designed. He could actually feel that everything was covered on the left. He took it back to the right. There was nobody home.
Hey, what the heck of
And you know what? James Brown probably came into this game thinking that he has a little something to prove. People surely, some of them, critics, counted out Texas when they learned that Morenz was hurt and in serious condition, would not be able to play today. But James Brown has filled in and seemed to be saying after that touchdown run, hey, how do you like me now?
Yeah, put me into the mix. Let's start a quarterback controversy in Texas. It's a great problem to have, John. Johnny Mack.
Former coach in the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs, was at Illinois. 17 seconds remain in the third quarter. Texas leads by a field goal, 10-7. Dawson to kick off. This will be P.J. Mills. And he goes east-west instead of north-south. The Horns starting to hook the Sooners just a little bit here. With 10 seconds remaining now in the quarter.
You know what the biggest difference is? Time of possession. Look at this. Texas has held the ball 12 minutes and 40 seconds of this in the second half here. Just 2 minutes for Oklahoma. Boy, you can't score if you don't have the ball. And that offense then becomes your best defense.
Sure does. And a nice balance in play selection by the Horns. Here comes McGee, who keeps it on the option and is brought down at the 19 by Chris Akins. And that's the last play of the third quarter, as the eyes of Texas are smiling on the Horns. We'll return with more action between Texas and Oklahoma after this message and a word from our AB. They have played the game here at the Cotton Bowl between Oklahoma and Texas for 65 consecutive years. And for the 49th straight time that the game is sold out. And we have an exciting finish coming up as Texas leads 10-7 as we wait for the beginning of the fourth quarter. Oklahoma with possession, again starting deep in their own territory.
Oklahoma with possession, with Texas with the momentum.
Allen trying to steal some of that momentum back for the Sooners out to the 28-yard line as we look at the statistical breakdown, Tim.
All right, take a look. These are the statistics now, but let me tell you that Texas outgained Oklahoma in the third quarter, 147 yards to just 32. I mean, they dominated. The difference thus far has been Brown at quarterback. He's 16 for 20. He's run for 39 yards and a touchdown.
And Shea Morenz still on the sidelines. Oklahoma handing it off to Moore, who barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Thomas Baskin, the 277-pound senior, making the tackle. This Texas defense has held up well this afternoon. And speaking of a guy holding up well despite a black eye and a shiner, Dean Blevins. Dean?
Guys, great point, Tim, a minute ago about Oklahoma in the third quarter. The Sooners have only scored 14 points all season long in the third quarter. Haven't scored a single point in the first quarter. I don't know the problem. John Malkovich will always have a great quarterback. He's got two of them now in Brown.
All right, Dean, here's Allen on the halfback option. It's picked. Westbrook out of bounds at the 7. Westbrook with his second pick of the day.
Halfback option pass and a bad decision by Allen. Now watch, Allen doesn't even tuck it away, doesn't hide it, throws a poor pass. Then Allen just stands around while Westbrook returns it. That's his second pick of the afternoon. Westbrook with 2 interceptions and this 28-yard return.
From Oceanside, California, the man nicknamed Diesel. And he put a little fuel in Texas's tank right there with that pick. Back to John Saunders, who's got some fuel too.
Mark, the Fighting Illini of Illinois against the Ohio State Buckeyes in the Big Ten. This is the final play of the third quarter. Johnny Johnson airs it out. Somebody blew the coverage. Jasper Strong is wide open, gets the touchdown, and the Illini lead by a touchdown. Mark.
Really never happened at the end of the quarter. But back here, Bryant Westbrook just made a pivotal play for Texas.
Yeah, the Diesel, I tell you, that was a gift, though. I mean, that ball was thrown right to him.
The Texas secondary has been the shining point and the bright spot of that defensive unit all year. Today playing without Joey Ellis, and Westbrook picking up the slack. Here's Priest Holmes. Holmes showing some of his speed, and they may add more yardage onto this one. Might have been another face mask. Holmes picked up 14. We'll wait for the call. It's another face mask against Oklahoma. Not making their coach happy. I'm Mark Jones along with Tim Brandt and Dean Blevins. The score here, Texas leading Oklahoma by a score of 10-7. We have 13:54 remaining in the fourth quarter in a surprisingly low-scoring game.
Face mask, defense, first down.
Just like the last drive when Texas scored, the face mask penalty against Oklahoma, half the distance, moves the ball back inside the 5-yard line to the 4 and gives them first down and goal.
Phil Brown has been the quarterback all day long for Texas. Shea Morenz is watching out of the pro set. Walker down at the 2-yard line. Couldn't quite get there. Brought down by Rod Henderson, who made a touchdown-saving tackle. Here's how we arrived at this point, 10-7. Gerald Moore made it 7-0 Oklahoma on a 23-yard run. And then Phil Dawson made it 7-3 with a 19-yard field goal. And back came James Brown. Dropped back and ran it in himself from 9 yards out. Offensively, Texas has been a picture of balance. The toss to the short side of the field. Walker pushed out of bounds at the 3. Good pursuit by the Oklahoma defense that time.
Yeah, Texas has really had a problem down in the red zone. They've not been able to solve the Oklahoma defense what they ought to do, and what could work, because this is a very aggressive defense, and they run to the football. Go ahead and send all the motion to the left side, fake it, and let Brown on a reverse, naked reverse, just take it into the corner. He's got great speed.
It's 3rd and goal here, Tim. We'll see if they choose to go that route. Very composed-looking John McAvee. Split back set. Lucas in motion. They give it into the end zone, wide open, touchdown Texas. Fitzgerald.
Boy, that play was set up nicely, well executed. The play action just froze everybody while Fitzgerald slipped through.
Dawson with the extra point and a chance to give Texas a 10-point lead at 17-7. He is perfect on the year and remains that way. And another look at that touchdown, Tim, by Fitzgerald.
Brown is so cool and composed. Coming at you, reverse angle, let it roll, and here comes the play action. The fake, the linebackers are frozen. Brown just lays it up, Fitzgerald wide open. They didn't even see him coming.
Texas leads by 10. Third is former All-American defensive lineman Lucius Selman of Oklahoma, ripping into his defense just a little bit, delivering a strong message.
Meanwhile, on the other side, John Makovic's got to be pleased because his Longhorns have had the ball 29 plays this half. Oklahoma just 7.
Dawson with the kick. DJ Mills lets it go through the back of the end zone, and Oklahoma will start on its own 20. Texas trying to make it 5 out of 6 against Oklahoma. Pretty good lineup tomorrow night on ABC, America's Funniest Home Videos. Then On Our Own, followed by Lois and Clark. And then Nowhere to Hide, all tomorrow night, right here on ABC. Oklahoma 1st and 10. Oklahoma has had poor field position all day. Hall with the reception. And he has a first down at the 43-yard line. A 24-yard pickup and a dart delivered by the quarterback, Eric McGee.
You know, if you're a Sooner with 13 minutes left in the ball game, you got to believe you're still very much in this ball game. Watch Hall now get the push off. They're playing soft. They've got a lead, so they're playing soft. They're getting off on the zone. He finds the open area. McGee puts the ball right there for him.
All out of Bay City, Texas.
Chris Gibbs has to be kicking himself right now. It was a trick play that set up the Longhorns touchdown on a halfback option pass.
And here's Moore trying to get some more. Out of bounds to the 48, and there's a flag down.
I believe it's going to be holding against the Sooners. Once again, penalties killing Oklahoma. They average 8 penalties a game.
Is that something, Tim, as a coach, that you try to tell them not to do, or if you mention it, do they end up doing it even more and being conscious of it?
Well, here's a call.
Holding by the offense. Repeat first down.
I mean, which way do you go on that?
Coaches differ on that. They don't want to plant the seed, make a big issue of it where you start thinking about it, become tentative, but they do make them aware of it. It's just concentration.
Watson Brown's offense.
9 penalties today against Oklahoma. They're 1 above their average.
And Brown's offense with only 7 points today. Complete. It's Albert Hall again. Another first down. Down to the 43-yard line and a 21-yard pickup.
Needed 20, got 21. Again, it's a soft zone. Hall finds the open area, the seam, and McGee just puts it there for him. Right now, Texas playing a little bit soft defensively.
Eric McGee has looked very solid on the last 2 passes. 12.5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. They hand it off. And maybe a loss of a yard that time. Allen did not get to the hole.
Outstanding play by. Just defeated his blocker, got off the block, and made the tackle. Allen never had a chance.
Allen, another one of those quick Oklahoma backs, runs a 4.5.
Yeah, but if you can't get that 4.5 started by the time the other guy's making the tackle, that speed's not going to help you.
Had a couple of touchdowns last week, but has been shut out so far today. McGee to pass, and he'll take off. He got a nice block from Allen and makes it down to the 33-yard line. Dean Blevins, what's new downstairs?
Well, guys, you notice the E on the Oklahoma offensive players' helmets. Watson Brown said that he wanted to get these guys more fired up, and so the E is to show them enthusiasm. So anytime he feels like they need a surge, he taps his head, and McGee goes to the huddle and says, guys, let's pick it up. I think Watson Brown's going to be tapping his head a lot in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, but too often for Watson, that E has stood for error. 8 penalties. Today they've got 9.
1st and 10 after that first down. Allen off the right side, brought down by Thomas Baskin.
That right side of the Oklahoma offensive line, huge. Stamps at 309, Cavill at 310. Not bad when you're looking for a hole. Ball is on the 29-yard line for Oklahoma. 2nd down and 6. Allen, the deep back, out of the eye. Runs it inside this time, but nothing doing there. Brought down by Tony Brackens, number 98.
Oklahoma showing a lot of different formations. They go to the pro set, they'll go to the eye, they'll go to the wishbone. A lot of the same plays, just disguised with different looks out of those formations.
Alabama winning ugly once again today.
Well, I don't know if it's ugly, but they are just barely getting by. Jay Barker, though, isn't he tough? Just never loses.
All he does is win. 3rd and 4. You would think this would be a key conversion attempt on 3rd down for Oklahoma. They toss it to the short side. Allen. It's going to depend on the spot, but I think he is short of the 1st down by maybe a yard. Victor Frazier, the free safety, came up and made the hit.
It's going to be awfully close. They may have to measure this one. He's well within a yard. For the 1st down, they had to get down to the 23.5. They're at the just inside the 24.
And McGee stays in the game. They're going to go for it, Tim. Texas couldn't convert its 4th and short, and we'll see if Oklahoma can here. Moore has the 1st down. What do? Simple. You give it to your 230-pound fullback.
And you know what else you do? You go on a quick count. You get everybody up to the line of scrimmage, snap it right now. Don't even let the defense set. Just run it right at them. Boom, 1st sound.
Tomorrow, ABC Sports presents 2 specials. First at 4 Eastern, 3 Central and Pacific. Join Billie Jean King, Martina Navratilova, and Jackie Joyner-Kersee as some of the greatest female athletes in history tell their stories. Hear from those who have played the game, spot the battles for equality in a passion to play. Stories of women in sports. Following that, the Gold Bear takes a look back at the biggest events of the year in golf. It's Jack Nicklaus, the best of golf 1994. Oklahoma trying the middle on 1st down, and they find a lot of Texas resistance. 9:15 to play in the ball game, and Texas has a 17-7 lead.
And that time now becomes a factor with 9:10 left. They've got to score here. They've got to start battling that clock.
Hall comes out of the game. In comes Broderick Robertson at tackle. P.J. Mills split wide. McGee for Mills. Incomplete. And Mills wants a face guarding call.
You know, and I think he's justified in asking for one. Victor Frazier never did turn around to locate the ball. And there was some contact. Take a look at the end of the play, see if we can pick it up. Here comes the ball. There's the contact. Frazier's never looking back for the ball to locate it. You don't look back, you make contact. That should draw a flag.
One more look at it, Tim.
I think Texas got away with one here. Watch this. Watch the end of the play. Boom. There's the contact. The left hand comes out. He's pushing him away.
Oklahoma is 4 for 9 on 3rd down conversions, and Albert Hall comes onto the field and promptly calls a timeout. So as McGee thinks it over, so will we. We'll be right back. College football on ABC Sports has been brought to you by Lexus, makers of the 1995 ES300. Let others follow. Craftsman Tools, only at Sears, the home of America's craftsmen. The beer that's colder, bolder, yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born. And Domino's Pizza, when it's got to be good, and it's got to be now, it's got to be Domino's. Look at the clear sky in the background of the Dallas skyline. 3rd down and long. Oklahoma 4 for 9 on 3rd down situations. Long count. McGee to pass.
Complete and a first down. What a catch by the freshman, Steve Alexander. But there's a flag down in the vicinity.
Boy, they needed almost 10. Westbrook's going to be called for pass interference. Doesn't make any difference. Decline the penalty. Take the first down. Great second effort. Not only did Westbrook interfere with the contact before the pass was there, but then he missed the tackle.
Steve Alexander, the freshman, using that big, strong frame of his to get position. And here we get the call.
Pass interference, defense, it's declined. We have first down.
So, you know, watch the left side of your screen and lock on to number 30, Westbrook. All right, here comes the drag across the middle from the tight end. Now here comes the pass, boom, contact right there. Before the ball comes, the flag is thrown immediately.
Full-house backfield, the wishbone. McGee keeps it himself and weaves his way down to the 7-yard line where he meets Chris Carter on the tackle. Oklahoma trails by 10 points with 8:20 to play. Barry Switzer, the former Sooner coach, used to call it Sooner Magic, where they would come back from seemingly insurmountable deficits to win. And right now, the Sooners could use a little magic.
They're still in good shape, though. They've got to capitalize the score here.
Out of the wishbone, McGee again. Tiptoes over one tackler, Brackens, and is brought down in the middle of the field at the 7-yard line by Baskin. So it's third down. They can get a first down without getting into the end zone.
And Gibbs knows he still needs 2 scores regardless. So at the very least, he's got to get a field goal here. But they want the whole thing now. They want the 7.
Tim, this is the 15th play of this Oklahoma drive. It has been arduous and methodical, and here's James Allen. Allen can't get in. He's brought down at the 5-yard line by Tyson King.
All right, get the field goal, get the 3 on the board. The only problem with this is Scott Blanton, the kicker, is only 4 for 7 in field goals, and he's also missed 2 extra points. So he's been inconsistent.
Gibbs not entirely happy with his special teams this year. Place kicking part of it.
Every kick is a thrill.
McGee obviously disappointed. Out of the hold of Jawan Penny. Scott Blanton from 22 nails it. Now we're not going anywhere, folks, as Blanton is now 5 of 8 on the year after making that one, and it's now 17-10.
So Gibbs gets the score out of it. He knows he needs 2 scores, settles for the field goal. Blanton just kicks it through. So now they're within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion of winning this football game with 6:40 left.
Let's go back to John Saunders in New York. John?
Mark, Illinois and Ohio State, the Illini in Columbus looking for the win once again. Johnny Johnson here to Ken Dilger. He takes it to the end zone for the touchdown, 19 yards, 24-10. Illinois up. Mark.
Ohio State maybe looking past Illinois a little bit for the matchup next week against Michigan State. A game that Tim and I and Dean will be at next week in East Lansing. Gary Gibbs mulling over the next 6:40 on the clock with his team trailing by a touchdown.
Texas has 2 timeouts remaining. Oklahoma has 2 timeouts remaining. 6:40 left in the game, and it's a 7-point advantage for Texas.
That last Oklahoma drive, pretty impressive. 16 plays, going 75 yards and using up 6:25 on the clock. But as we mentioned, time now becoming an issue if you're the Sooners. Blanton kicking off. Curtis Jackson at the 5. He's got an alley. Action Jackson out at the 47 of Texas. A 42-yard return.
You just mentioned special teams being a problem for Oklahoma. Here again, they're victimized by a big return. Boy, watch the cut that Jackson makes at the end of this play. He sees the wall now. He's got to cut back to the right. There's the line. And it opens up for him. Big, big return. And again, Oklahoma hurt by special teams.
Jackson out of Plano, Texas. James Brown in at quarterback. It has been his afternoon. It has been his team.
17 for 21, a touchdown, and he's run for 40 yards.
Counter. Coming to the middle of the field, Roderick Walker with light feet and sweet feet. Near the first down marker, the 42, an 11-yard pickup and a first down. Brought down by Anthony Fogle.
Walker got through a hole that wasn't there. You know, he's had hamstring problems all year. He ran that time like a dart. I mean, he just kept winding his way through the traffic and picked up 10.
This game, no stranger to great backs, especially from Texas. There's a guy named Earl Campbell who can play a bit of football. Fitzgerald in motion. Brown on the keeper. Lots of room. Like that play. Now, time permitting, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report featuring scores and highlights from across the country. And that was a nice highlight on the reel of James Brown.
Yeah, see, that's the play I thought they were going to run down near the goal line. Because of the active pursuit of the Sooners, that play's been available to them all afternoon.
Tim, I mentioned Earl Campbell and the recruiting wars that go on between these two programs. It is so very intense. A lot of these players know each other from high school days. They're buddies on their high school teams, Pop Warner teams. This is for border bragging rights. Walker up the middle down to the 32-yard line.
What a difference a half makes. You know, Texas in the first half had only 73 yards rushing. This half, well over 121 yards.
I remember Earl Campbell saying that he was looking for a sign from God before he was looking to sign to go for a school when he was being recruited. He was recruited by both Oklahoma and Texas. And Barry Switzer said, if I'd known that Earl was looking for a sign when he went to bed at night, I'd have hid under his bed and sang Boomer Sooner all night. But we all know Earl ended up at Texas. Lucas in at fullback now. Walker the tailback. And the same play. But this time, Oklahoma got a beat on it.
And there again, the young guy's showing the composure of a veteran. He had the sideline. He could have run out of bounds, but that's not what they want to do now. He wants to stay in bounds and melt as much of the clock as possible in this drive.
You mentioned the clock. There are about 4.5 minutes to play.
Well, I tell you what, James Brown has outdone himself today.
So when does the quarterback controversy start?
It's already started.
Shea Morenz.
I'm trying to fuel the fire. Shea Morenz is a great talent, but what a job James Brown has done today.
Surely raising a lot of eyebrows by his performance and opening a lot of eyes. He hands it off. Luke Kemp, scratch that. It was Kemp to the short side of the field, gaining maybe one.
That run takes us under the 4-minute mark.
Oklahoma's defense needing a big play. Freeman has been a big play guy. Peters has played well today. But they need something now. It is 3rd down and long for Texas.
At the very least, you want to position the ball for a field goal.
Lawson has a strong leg. There's a flag down. Brown's going to pass. Incomplete, in and out of the arms of his intended receiver. Should have been caught, but it was dropped by Eric Jackson.
Rockermeyer is hurt. Slow getting up.
Let's investigate the flag. It's against the Horns.
Boy, that hurts too, because Texas was barely within field goal range. Dawson, his longest is a 50-yard field goal right now, or before that penalty, it would have been a 48-yarder. Now that moves him out of his range.
Illegal motion, offense, decline. 4th down.
See, that's smart on Oklahoma's part.
And in comes Phil Dawson. Now, I'm looking at the flags, Tim, and he seems to have the wind at his back. So he has a bit of an advantage, Dawson does. The ball is on the 31-yard line. So the attempt will come from 48 yards out.
Again, I tell you, his longest in his career is 50 yards. This is 48.
This would be huge for Texas. It would mean Oklahoma would need 2 scores. And he pushes this one right. And Oklahoma breathes a collective, huge sigh of relief.
Boy, he had the distance.
Dawson had an opportunity to put a nail in the Oklahoma coffin, but misses by that much. We'll be back. So Texas and OU entered the border war ranked number 1 and 2. Oklahoma maintained a 3-point lead until this, when Jeff Ward kicked a 32-yard field goal, tying the game, and later costing Oklahoma a national championship. Fred Akers, then the coach at the time.
And the AstroTurf then on the Cotton Bowl floor. Now it's natural turf, and it's a beautiful field.
Oklahoma with the ball, 3:16 to play in the game. They trail by 7. And McGee seems to have found a favorite target in his big freshman tight end, Steve Alexander. Another Oklahoma first down by Alexander.
You know, when they recruited Alexander, he says, hey, coach, if I come to Oklahoma, I don't want a red shirt. I do want to play my freshman year. I want to start and make a couple catches. He's done all of that.
Big body at 6'5". He has 4 catches for a total of 51 yards. McGee for Mills, and he's got it. Mills out of bounds at the 17 as the Sooners march on.
And again, Victor Frazier never located the ball. Take a look now at the right side. It's Mills and Frazier locked on one-on-one. Now watch, it's pretty good coverage, but he never locates the ball, never comes back. Mills stays with it. Look at Mills, locked on that ball, comes behind Frazier and makes the catch behind his back. Nicely done by P.J. Mills.
And in 2 plays, Oklahoma moves from the 31 to the 17. McGee fires another strike to the same guy. Mills downed at the 9-yard line by Bryant Westbrook.
You know, P.J. Mills can be a game breaker. He averages 18 yards every time he touches the football, including a 70-yarder against Syracuse that electrified the entire Oklahoma team. Watch this. This ball's thrown well. Again, Mills goes high. Boy, he's dangerous. You've got to lock him up with those arms. Good tackle after the catch.
Penny and Hall split to the bottom of your screen. The draw to Moore. And Moore runs it into the middle part of the field, down to the 7-yard line, where he's brought down by Storman Norman Watkins.
That'll take us down to the 2-minute area of this game.
A look at Texas's defensive coordinator, Gary Darnell.
Boy, he really shook things up at Texas. He went from the 3-4 defense instead of the old 4-3, but he knows his personnel and he's experienced. He's coached at Notre Dame in Florida, likes a 3-4 scheme, which is based on speed and depth.
Really not that much difference, is there, Tim? I mean, people talk about a 4-3 versus a 3-4, but there's not that much difference, isn't it?
No, but you just put in another linebacker. You put in more speed back there. You can do more things. Under 2 minutes to play now in this ball game.
Look at the timeout situation. Oklahoma trailing by 7 points. McGee keeps it, and he surges forward over the right side.
He's got the
for the first down. 1:47 to play. And it'll be 1st and goal for Oklahoma. Maybe there is some Sooner magic in the stadium today.
Several things to consider now if you're Oklahoma. Number one, you've got to get it in the end zone. Number two, you want to go for the two-point conversion because you want to win the game. Forget the tie. Number three, you don't want to give too much time back to Texas.
We'll see how this scenario plays out. Allen in motion. The give is to the fullback Moore, who maybe got a yard. Clock running with 1:30 to play.
That's all right. Let the clock run if you're an Oklahoma guy. Take your time. You don't want any mistakes down here. No offsides, no movement penalties. You want to execute.
Don't even think about saying that word penalty if you're Oklahoma. Penny and Hall split to the bottom of your screen. Moore the only back. McGee looking into the end zone. Is it picked off? No. Almost. Tyson King almost sealed it for Texas.
And you know what? Allen was wide open for Oklahoma.
That was an ill-advised pass by that man, McGee.
Picks are illegal, but they call this a rub-off. The ball's almost picked off, but look, here are all white shirts. Allen's over in the corner all by himself. He had already passed him. Watson Brown, he's a cool customer. Maintaining his composure. But with 1 minute left in the game, now it is huge on third down.
Third and goal, Oklahoma, McGee. Brought down at the 3.
They've got to go for it on fourth.
Less than a minute to play. The clock running with 47 seconds to play. Watkins and Brackens made that last tackle, and the Oklahoma coaching staff calling for a timeout. I'm Mark Jones along with Tim Brandt and Dean Blevins here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Texas leads Oklahoma 17-10 with 43 seconds to play in the game. The Sooners have the ball. It is 4th and goal from the 3.5-yard line.
Oklahoma just took a timeout. They've got one left. It doesn't matter. They only have one play to score. It's 4th down. They've got to put pressure on the corner and give the option to McGee to pass or run.
The story of the game, if you're just joining us, has been quarterback Shea Morenz, who has not played. His understudy, his fill-in, James Brown, has come in and done a masterful job engineering that offensive attack for Texas. Garrett McGee, meanwhile, going into this last series, was 9 of 15 passing for 133 yards with 1 interception. He's run the ball for 55 yards. And that is James Brown. Makovic talking to him in case he has to go in one more series. And a look at Shea Morenz, who has not played today because of a bad knee, a sprained knee.
But all the pressure of the world right now is on McGee of Oklahoma. Not only do they need to get the touchdown here on 4th down, but then they have to go for the 2.
And McGee trying to get those Oklahoma fans to make some noise. This is the ball game for them. Let's take a close look at the backfield set.
Boy, this is what it's all about. Oklahoma, Texas, 4th down and goal. You have to score to win.
This is why the Red River rivalry has had so much mystique and so much history and tradition and greatness. The reverse. One man to beat. Allen, no!
They tried to get all the motion going one way and bring Allen to the backside. But watch 55, Stoney Clark. Here he comes, one-on-one. Bam! The hit, 6'1", 343 pounds. He broke down. He gave one way to run and made the stop. The biggest play of his life. Stoney Clark. He's an English major. He's writing his own autobiography. He's bigger than Rush Limbaugh. Watch 55. Here he comes. Bam! Knocks him away from the goal line.
The big man put a lot of giddy up in his gallop and got there in time.
Oh, what a great play.
They'll be taking him out to dinner tonight.
He was a defensive tackle the last 2 years and moved him to nose guard, and he's flourished.
The Texas defense, which last week gave up 34 points to Colorado, stones Oklahoma, and they have held the Sooners to just 10 points this afternoon. Downstairs to Dean.
Guys, this is a significant game. I believe it's one now that Texas really believes it is back. It has beaten Oklahoma with a backup quarterback, with a lot of other great players out. OU now really becomes concerned, disappointed. Gary Gibbs has now brought 6 teams in favored and is now 1-5. He said this is his best team since '87. Next is Colorado, Kansas, and Kansas State.
Another flag on the play. Dean, let me ask you, being an Oklahoma guy, former player down there close to the situation, is Gibbs under any pressure?
Well, he's done a remarkable job in academics and also keeping kids in terms of the image. People in Oklahoma want to win like they do in Alabama, like they do at Texas. The pressure is to win. There's a lot left to the season. Big disappointment.
Yeah, Dean, and no doubt, Oklahoma boosters will point to the fact that Jerry Gibbs has not done well against Colorado, Nebraska, or Texas.
Well, Texas is the big one as far as the fans in Norman are concerned. He's lost 4 out of the last 5 to the Longhorns.
And with those bragging rights, you get an extra boost in recruiting when you win this game.
I'll tell you, that was close to being a safety.
23 seconds remaining in the game. Oklahoma wants the safety. They're not going to get it, though. Officials marking it at the 1-yard line. 23 seconds to go. Texas trying to make it 5 out of 6 wins against Oklahoma.
The only hope the Sooners have now with 23 seconds left is to get a safety, then get the free punt to get the ball back.
And while we're on the topic of turning corners and turning programs around, John Mackovic has to feel very good about his job. We'll be right back. 3 seconds to go, Tim.
Unless Oklahoma forces Texas into the end zone and gets the safety, there is no way to stop the clock. Oklahoma has no timeouts left, and there's only 23 seconds left. Texas doesn't have to snap it again.
James Brown.
That'll do it.
Like the James Brown song. Papa's may not have a brand new bag, but Coach Mackovic might have a brand new quarterback. He did a great job today.
Look at the cameras, the microphones all over. Brown, he's the new star, the new hero.
A star is born on a clear afternoon here in Dallas, Texas at the Cotton Bowl. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are James Brown, who was 17 of 22, 152 yards passing for Texas, and Gerald Moore, who ran the ball 13 times for 76 yards with a touchdown for Oklahoma. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. And coming up next, it's the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report featuring scores and highlights. But the big play of the game made by Stoney Clark, who stones the Sooners.
Came back on the misdirection. Allen trying to get around the corner to score. Now watch this. First they turn him back inside, and here comes old Big 55, Stoney Clark. 343 pounds and the biggest play of the game.
The eyes of Texas smiling on the Longhorns this Saturday afternoon. Stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. Final score, 17-10.